I want to talk about Hyperkin, which is a company that I love to hate. Hate to love.
Makers of the Retron 5.
Hate to love to hate. I don't know where I stand with Hyperkin. Some of their products are utter trash. That's really putting me out there because they supply to us. And some of them are great. I mean, I've said it before. I say it to customers all the time. I really don't think that the Retron 5 is a big piece of shit. It just depends on who wants it and what they need.
I think it's convenient. I haven't had too many huge complaints about it.
No,
personally.
I mean, I don't.
Besides the one that was dead on arrival.
Sure, I don't love it. I don't need one, but I think it's perfectly suited for a large audience. So, anyways, on April Fool's Day, Hyperkin kind of released this joke, and it was called the
Smart Boy.
What's the actual name? Smart Boy. And what it is it's a little dock for your iPhone 6s that basically turns it into a Game Boy or a Game Boy Color, and there's a cartridge slot on the back.
You get the control pad, you get the buttons, start and select.
Right, so you get all the tactile controls, which is nice. Like I said, it started as an April Fool's joke, and apparently people actually wanted it, so now they're going to try to make it.
Or maybe that was a teaser, maybe they always had it planned.
Well, as a way to kind of, as they said, I think they actually state directly, it was meant to gauge interest in the idea.
Sure.
I gotta be honest with you, fucking dumb. Why would you buy an accessory for your smartphone, your expensive smartphone? Why would you share the battery life with your expensive smartphone just to play Game Boy and Game Boy Color games when, by the looks of it, it's going to take up almost as much space as just buying a Game Boy and playing Game Boy games on it? It just seems silly to me. I mean,
depends upon the price point. If this thing costs only $20-25,
price point, dude, a Game Boy Color costs $25.
Sure, but it's the convenience of it's with my nice screen on my you know what I mean. If they do it so that like you can put effects on it or save states the same way you did with the Retron 5, if they make it compatible with Game Boy Advance games as well, you know what I mean, in one slot. I'm just saying
look like that, but I mean,
this
you're right.
To me, this comes down to what's the price point. If this thing is any more than $25, you know, go screw. But if this is like $15-20, which I don't see why it wouldn't have to cost more than that. I mean, they already have the technology from the Retron 5, from the from the Game Boy.
Here's why
slot.
It's going to be more than 25, because they said the Retron 5 was going to be 100, and then they said it was going to be 140 at launch, and then they made it 160.
Well, it was 140 at launch for a while, and then they raised it.
And then they're greedy. I just don't see this as being something that's going to be at a price point that makes sense for people to buy.
Well, just in terms of R&D, they have to do very little R&D because it's like I said, they're probably going to use the same emulator they use in the Retron 5, the same source code that we don't know where it came from. So that's going to be there. They already have the technology for the physical reader. It's just interfacing it, basically just writing the software to interface it with the screen on your iPhone. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, so that's where the cost is going to come from. So you know what? If this is $20, I'll say, it's whatever. In terms of Nintendo going after it, what's the patent? When's the patent run out on the Game Boy? Has it run out or close to it?
Well, if it's on the Retron 5 and they haven't chased after it, then it's probably fine patent-wise. Sure. People have talked about that, and it's like, no, if they've done that with the Retron 5, it's not going to matter with this.
But the point about the battery life is a great point, though.
Why I don't know. Why waste the battery life on your phone when you can pack a Game Boy Color at the same size?
Sure, or an SP, which is tiny,
even smaller, and plays all the same games.
Yeah.
And yeah, they really would have to hit a $19.99 price point for this to even remotely be something that I would consider stocking.
I think that would have to be the price point. I think if you hit that price point, you would sell some of these. I don't know about the latency that would occur. They'd have to figure that out between the interface and the hitting the buttons. You know,
it's just
hopefully that wouldn't wear on your phone after a while. Hitting, I guess the phones are sturdy. Hitting, you know what I mean. They'd have to put the virtual buttons underneath and you hit them. That I'm sure they'll figure that out. It's fine. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see for now.
I feel like it was a cute April Fool's joke that they never. Because here's the thing, when people say when you put out an April Fool's joke and people say, please give me that, they're not actually speaking with their mind or their wallet. They're like, oh, that's funny and that would be kind of cool. But that's by no means a barometer of how well it's going to sell.
Actually, this article says the Smart Boy will have a built-in battery that can be charged by the phone. And with the 6 Plus, gameplay is said to last for 5 hours. So this has to be in development, because how the hell do they know that?
Yeah, I mean...
This has to be in development. So the Smart Boy has a built-in battery that can be charged by the phone. No, then you still have to worry about the power for the phone to charge the Smart Boy, though.
Yes, because that's what I'm saying. As I read that, and I could be reading it wrong, the phone is basically charging the Smart Boy, which means you're still losing battery somewhere.
Well, having your screen on for 5 hours straight, or a couple hours anyway, is going to drain it like anything.
Yeah.
If you have a 6, the good news is that the 6 improves the battery life tremendously versus the 5 and the 4. The 5 and the 4, I'd say this would be dead on arrival, because you probably wouldn't be able to play a game more than like a half hour or 45 minutes before the thing was dead.
Sure.
On the run. 6 at least, you can have a go. It says 6 Plus. It's only going to be 6 Plus at first? If that's the case, then there's not a huge amount of 6 Pluses out there compared to the 6 and other phones. 6 Plus is gigantic. It's like the Samsung Galaxy. The thing is like a mini iPad, basically. It's huge.
I don't know. My last word on it comes back to this. And I know not all stores are us, but Game Boy Colors are $25. Game Boy Pockets are $20.
SPs are what, 35, 40?
About 40. And DMGs... Original DMGs I will give you for free if you buy a couple Game Boy games from me.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, no, we give away working DMGs if you buy a couple black and white Game Boys from me.
You can't sell them?
No, I could. I don't want to warranty them because if they end up with dead pixels 2 months down the line and I don't have another good one in stock, I don't want to deal with that. So it's just cost wise, that's really my big concern. And then it's like, people look at this and they think it's convenient until they realize they're still carrying around 2 fucking pieces to make one piece that they can just go buy.
Yeah, basically. Well, we'll see what happens with this Smart Boy. If it comes out later this year, we'll have more to say about it.
More like a dumb boy to me. Oh. Okay.
And that's why Ian's my co-host on the podcast.
Anyways.